All right, here's a quick one. Hey everyone, quick question. My seller is not letting me get in contact with the tenants, and that's the only way my buyer will buy the property. Now the seller is trying to keep my earnest money deposit. Can I get my EMD back if my purchase contract says 65-day close, and that is until May 26th? So I've said this before, but I have a mentor who used to tell me, like, anytime you have a problem, it's very rare that that problem happened in that moment. It's kind of like, you know, jumping out of a plane with no parachute and then say, what do I do now? And so you really want to, if you can trace the issue back, 4 or 5 steps, that's usually where, the problem is. So something like this is going to come down to contracting. How you do your contracts and ultimately how it plays out. Now, there's really not enough detail in this question because your closing date, while important, really doesn't speak to your earnest money deposit. When is that due? When is that non-refundable? How long of an inspection period do you have where that is refundable, where your deposit has not gone hard? So that's kind of the missing piece. There are also things that you can put into your contract to protect you, like different clauses. And I have an ebook that you guys should check out where I give you some of these clauses that you can put in to protect yourself. So one of the clauses, for example, something along the lines of, seller will allow buyer access to the property, obviously to look at it, right? To inspect the property. And if the seller is not able to do that, they're not living up to their contingency in the contract, that can be grounds for getting your earnest money back. But one of the biggest exit clauses that you have is going to be that inspection period, right? So if I say, I have a 30-day inspection period, but I'm sorry, a 30-day close, but the inspection period is not specified in this question, I can't really tell you, because you can have a contract that says 0-day inspection, and then you have 30 days to close. If it's 0-day, your deposit is hard. That means you cannot get it back. Now, if you have a 30-day close, but you have a 10-day inspection period, as long as you've signed that contract within those first, you're still within the first 10 days of that contract being fully executed. An executed contract is when the last person signs and dates on a contract. So 10 days from that, yes, you can get your earnest money deposit back as long as you cancel in writing. Now, I want to mention this too. This goes back to making sure your contracts are done properly. There are certain states where if you're using, let's say, the Board of Realtors state approved contract, they might have specific language in there saying that during that inspection period, you have to produce an inspection report from a licensed professional. Now, I wouldn't recommend that because that means you have to pay, especially if you're new, you have to pay for a licensed contractor to go in there. It's going to run you probably like $400 or something like that. And it's not necessary. Whereas all you can do is go to the additional comments and just write in, everything's negotiable. Buyer can do inspection at their own discretion or something like that. Now, if you're working in Florida like I am and using a FAR bar, that type of language is not in the contract, so you're protected by default. But these are some of the things why you have to be so familiar with your contracts, with everything that it entails and what you're actually signing. And again, I do have some longer videos on my YouTube channel, so I'll go ahead and throw some links up to there.